So Fatih and Nazif abi is here, I'm guessing.
Started, Mustafa.
Okay.
Yes.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. So we are in the third point of 24th letters addendum. This is about supplication. Fatih abi and Nazif abi are also with us to contribute, inshallah, with their opinions, and you'll have hopefully a fruitful discussion on this topic, as usual, inshallah. The third point, there are two ways in which voluntary supplication by word is acceptable. It is either accepted exactly as desired, or what is better is granted. For example, someone asks for a son, and Almighty Allah bestows a daughter like Maryam alayhi salam. One should not say that his supplication was not accepted, but that it was accepted in a better way. Also, sometimes a person makes supplication for his happiness in this world, and it is accepted for the hereafter. One should not say that his supplication was rejected, but it was accepted in a better form. Similarly, Almighty Allah is all-wise. We seek from Him, and He responds to us, but He deals with us in accordance with His wisdom. A sick person should not cast aspersions on his doctor's wisdom. If he asks for honey and the expert doctor gives him quinine, he should not say, "The doctor did not listen to me," for the doctor listened to his sighs and moans. He heard them and responded to them. He prescribed something better than what was asked for. So let's go back to the beginning and let's have a discussion, inshallah. The third point, there are two ways in which voluntary supplication by word is acceptable. It is either accepted exactly as desired, or what is better is granted. For example, someone asks for a son, and Almighty Allah bestows a daughter like Maryam alayhi salam. One should not say that his supplication was not accepted, but that it was accepted in a better way. So this is a good example, I guess. We have our opinions, our desires, and our wishes, but we don't know for sure what is best for us, right? And Allah knows what is best for us, and gives, actually, sometimes He gives exactly what we need, what we ask for. Sometimes He gives something else, what is better for us, as He is the all-wise, right? So Fatih abi, would you like to say something about this? Or Nazif abi?
Assalamu alaikum. I think
Fatih abi.
the example is very self-explanatory. I mean,
Yes.
Like it's also from Quran. Mary's parents were asked for a son, but Allah gave them a daughter. So, I mean, she is one of the most revered persons in the world, in the humanity. So sometimes what we ask for, Allah might give something better than that.
Yes.
And doctor example is another very simple example.
Yeah.
I mean, most of us don't like the taste of the medicines, but like doctor gives those anyways. And then you don't go and ask doctor to prescribe you candy instead of those like those medicines. So doctor knows that's what you need, and then he prescribes accordingly.
Sometimes it could be tasteful, sometimes it could be bitter. But in reality, this is what we really need. So Nazif abi, would you like to say something?
Oh, yeah, well, totally agree with you guys. I just, like Fatah said, just it's one of the best examples that we can see, and especially Ustad here, just pointing out like in a straightforward, and it's so simple way of kind of teaching, right? So it's just right to the point, a very short example. And kind of just, the way that I'm kind of feeling is that why I was just thinking about like, why keep it this short? And I guess I understand like, as I get older. So yes, it is short and it must be kept simple. So the rest is on us to just overcome these type of kind of feelings and desires and everything, and that's just acceptance, right? So like if we want to become a better person, a better Muslim, it's just we need to learn how to submit, to overcome the ego, overcome the other feelings and desires and whatnot, to accept Allah Almighty's his plan. So that's what I kind of just, that's what I believe here, just what's happening. So it's just now, basically, what I feel here is that Ustad leaves you on your own. So just the rest is you, he says. So it's just as simple as this, like kind of couple sentences. You ask for a son, you ask for some whatever your desires, your supplication, your prayers are, and then I'm giving you this instead. So now he wants to see, oh my, just slave. So are you going to accept it or not? So let's see. So and but inshallah, may Allah give every single one of us the power, the just the substance that we can use and accept his plan, accept his whatever he's bestowing upon us, and then just have a nice life, inshallah.
Inshallah. Yeah, it is. We discussed this. It is better. It's easier to say than do it.
As always, like especially coming together, and these are like we just talked in the previous weeks. Yeah, these are like an awesome kind of just gatherings and everything. Just in 1 hour, we feel that we're top of the mountain and everything, and just we reached the summit. But then like, and after what happens after 45 minutes after this this lesson is done, this course is over, and so what are we doing like for the rest of the week, for the rest of our life, for the rest of our year? So when we are on our own, so are we practicing it? Are we applying to our life? Are we remembering every single part of this? So that is easier said than done.
Yeah, that's right. This life is a test. That's what we forget many times. This is life is a test, but we desire something. We go after something, and sometimes we are not able to reach that. Or something that we're looking, trying to get, acquire something, and then we should know that this is whatever we have is what is best for us. But we tend to forget. And we get sad, and we lose hope sometimes, even though Almighty Allah has the power to give whatever He wishes.
Of course.
We tend
this doesn't mean, of course, I'm just we're not gonna just we're talking about something like this type of kind of prayers and everything. So of course we have to study, we have to work, we have to just keep trying. So like we just said, this life is up for kamalat. So and just human beings are just we are all created at the most beautiful way, the most perfect way. We all believe that. It's just we need to go after our whatever we feel that we want to achieve in life. but this does not mean just like, no, we need to give up. So, but we're just talking about our just sincere kind of, you know, supplications and prayers and whatever we want, like just whatever, like, I mean, that we would like to, but at the end of the day, when we, you know, just turn back, so if it is not given us, if it is not bestowed upon us, so then that means there is qadar, right? So it's just, we have to just say, oh, Almighty Allah, so just I believe in you, I just accept it. So, and then this must be the best for me. So that is the part that is, we're talking about, that that test we just said, it's arena of trial. So Allah Almighty is going to try us over and over and over and over until the end of the day. So
Yeah, that's right.
One point I'd like to add is this
Please.
part reminded me of another topic from Mesnevi and Nuri. And then the thing is, when we pray for something, we pray according to our needs and our desires. But Allah's creation looks to the whole universe, and then He creates accordingly, according to His outlook over the whole creation of the universe. And I'd like to read, I found another translation. I'd like to read that, two small paragraphs.
Please go ahead, Fatima.
Know, O friend, that no one has the right to complain about and object to the maker of the universe. If such a demand were to be satisfied, thousands of instances of wisdom having parts in the general order of the creation, which rejects such a satisfaction, violated and violated or sacrificed. If truth had followed their caprices, the heavens and earth and all those who live in them would certainly have gone to ruins. O complaining one, how can you object and make your caprices the standard of universal order? And this translation, they used standard. In the original, Ustad mentions Muhandis, he did not make your desires the engineer of the universe. He mentions it like that, yeah. How can you object and make your caprices the standard of the universal order and your corrupt taste and measure of the divine bounties? How do you know that what you see as a misfortune is not a blessing? How do you know that what you see as a misfortune is not a blessing? Are you authorized to change the direction of creation's turning wheels to satisfy your trifling and worthless fancies? You can complain only to him, not about him. For what falls to your lot from him is only a grain out of a heap of corn. One who owns cannot be the owner. Know your place and do not overstep the limits of your authority.
Yeah,
perfect,
beautiful.
perfect. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Fatima.
Yeah, this clearly shows, right? So just, yeah, whatever we just said is that, yeah, always like just basically just mentions in a different part of Risale. This is what I love about Risale-i Nur. Yeah,
our desires, we think we make a rational our desires, and we think what we desire is what is right for us, but in many instances it's a capricious, it might be a capricious desire, but we're not aware of it sometimes. Maybe we are aware of it sometimes, and we ask for it, and when it doesn't happen right away, like a child, like a baby, you know, the baby or the child asks for a sweet, you know, a sugar or something, your candy or something, and then when you don't give it, she or he starts crying, right?
Yeah,
we're not too much different than that, like little child, you know, compared to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know.
exactly.
Our wisdom is so limited. Our
Yeah,
desires.
exactly. So just as also the example, just yeah, Fatah was just like gonna mention that just an engineer. So an
Yeah.
engineer, like of any type of kind of equipment would know every aspect of it, right? So every problem, everything. So even like it's been outside of the factors also are known to the engineer, right? So, but then of course, when you ask the equipment from one aspect, so it's like us, right? So we only know whatever is looking upon us, like whatever that we are aware of, but the situation and everything just outside of factors that are exogenous, that are not known to us, we have no idea. So, but only Allah knows. So then, therefore, of course, I mean, He's going to answer our prayers accordingly, not according to us. So, but yeah, so that is the part that we need to learn to submit to hopefully, inshallah, become a whole Muslim, whole like a whole just submitting person. Yeah, inshallah.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
We also tend to forget that our focus is the hereafter, akhirah. We focus on this life, and we try to fulfill our desires in this life, even though our desires are limitless, eternal, as Ustad says in many places, and we try to fulfill them in this life. And it's in many cases, maybe what if it is given to us in this life, maybe we will forget that our focus is hereafter. This life is about test, it's about worship.
Right.
And as Ustad mentions in the Risale in sicknesses, remedies to the sicknesses, the times of troubles is the time to make dua, as Ustad says. Because this is our purpose. Which we created, as in the beginning, the verse says, our aim, one of the wisdoms that we are created is to supplicate to Allah.
Yeah,
that's our main
Exactly. Yeah, we're all created for worship. So it's just we need to do like what we're supposed to be doing. Yeah, it's like kind of just basically looking around us, like the cows and everything, all just like beautiful animals, or just created just for providing milk and everything to us. But then they never go on strike. They never go but then if our purpose is also kind of worshiping, so then we shouldn't be going on strike or just complaining and just making fuss about like every single thing just basically bothers us. Yeah, inshallah. So like as human beings, so we need to learn and practice it. So yeah, not without even making kind of just crack about it and accepting the fact and just moving forward. Yeah, inshallah. Yeah, but and always thinking about other life, always investing in other life, inshallah.
Inshallah.
And also, even when we are praying for our afterlife, we still have to be content with Allah gives us. Again, when we go back to the example of Mary, which is mentioned here, like Mary's parents wanted a son so that their son could serve in the temple. So, I mean, at that time, girls weren't allowed to serve in the temple. And it was looking to the hereafter. It wasn't a worthy thing that they asked for. But Allah gave them like much better. I mean, she was able to serve in the temple against all odds, and then also she became the mother of Isa alayhi salam. So, I mean, she gained a much more higher degree than their parents intended. And I mean, her parents didn't, most probably didn't give up praying. They weren't like. Most probably they didn't say, "Oh Allah, why did you give us like this or that?" And then, like, most probably they continued to pray because they had that intention, and then Allah gave them the best result for their intentions.
Yeah. So their intentions were good. That was pure. So they make the purest dua, and Allah give them the righteous daughter.
That also just reminded me. Yeah, thanks a lot. Just for Fatah. Also, you guys maybe know this better than I do. So there is a little kind of just point that I just that reminded me the part that in the 26th word, I believe. Let me just, if I can find it really quickly. It's basically about yeah, this is the part, I guess. So it's talking about the kid. Yeah, let me just read it. Yeah, I think it's right here. So it's the second, probably the point from 26th word. So when he's just talking about overall about the qadar, right? It's just so, and now he says, like, especially the part it's the one that just Fatah read, like, from Masnavi, and of course I'm just that Mary, just about, like, how important that is. And at the end he just finishes with the importance of the prayer. So, and so now here's the part, like, this is the part. So for sure men's faculty of will and power of choice are weak, and the theoretical matter, but Almighty God, the absolutely wise one, made that weak and partial will a condition for the connection of his universal will. He in effect says, my servant, whichever way you wish to take with your will, I will take you there. So you see, like, now whenever we are asking, oh, perfect. I think whoever is just bringing it out. Thank you so much. So then everyone can see it. Thank you so much. Yeah, so for sure, yeah, man's faculty of will and power of choice are weak, and theoretical matter, but Almighty Allah, the absolutely wise one, made that weak and partial will a condition for the connection of his universal will. He in effect says, my servant, whichever way you wish to take with your will, I will take you there. So you see now, so sometimes, like, even last week, I think, like, in the Kulinavi, and just we were talking about, like, how just important that is, right? So, like, when we are asking, we're wishing and everything, so we believe that somehow, like, we somehow getting lost in the fact that, so as if, like, we are doing so. In fact, so Allah is the one creating every single thing, right? So, like, in this minute, even, like, just we all we do is just we somehow, like, we wish. And so the other supplication that we mentioned, so he's creating them. So this is the part that he mentions. So I will take you there, in which case the responsibility is yours. So yes, so you asked for it, right? But then the responsibility is yours. If the comparison is not mistaken, you left a powerless child. So this is the perfect example, actually. It's not even perfect comparison in my mind. I mean, that's what I think. So you lift a powerless child onto your shoulders and leaving the choice to him, tell him you will take him wherever he wishes. Now then the child wants to go to a high mountain, so you take him there, but he either catches cold or falls. So of course you reprimand him, right? Perfect, saying that you wanted to go there, and you give him a slap. So thus Allah Almighty, right? Allah Almighty God, the firmest of judges, makes his servant's will, which is utterly weak, a condition, and his universal will follows it, right? So perfect. So you wanted to go there, yeah, this is responsibility is yours. Of course you're going to reprimand it. So Allah Almighty, the firmest of judges, makes his servant's will, which is utterly weak, a condition, and his universal will follows it. In short, now this is the perfect kind of just way that Ustad here just finishes it. So in short, oh man, you have a will known as the power of choice, which is extremely weak, but whose hand in evil acts and destruction is extremely long, and good deeds is extremely short. Give one of the hands of that will of yours to supplication. So now this is the part that the importance of supplication, that this is the part that I remember. So you see, like, now the supplication, how important that is, and at the same time knowing that yes, qadar also, like, and just behind it, like just the scene, of course, I mean, Allah Almighty works, right? So he's the one creating everything, and he knows everything. So he knows your supplication, definitely. So don't say that my supplication is not answered. So this is the part that just said, yes, you have this great hand. So you give one of the hands of will of yours to supplication so that it might reach paradise, a fruit of the chain of good deeds and stretch to eternal happiness. And give its other hand to the seeking of forgiveness so that it may be short of evil deeds and will not reach the Zakum tree of hell, which is one fruit that of that accursed tree. So that is just as supplication and reliance on God greatly strengthen the inclination to do good, so repentance and seeking forgiveness cut the inclination to do evil, putting an end to transgressions. So the importance of supplication, like how big, like, and just seriously so, and it is just always and always just we have to offer our supplications and relying like and it's on Allah, and at the same time seeking forgiveness. And our supplications also must be basically just now beautified with repentance and seeking forgiveness. So both and both, right? So, and always we have to just know that we cannot reach everything by our hand. And at the same time, so we have to know that importance of supplication. And so, and we should never forget that. So we're not the one who's creating. So Allah Almighty is the one that just, he is the organizer. He is the one who's just like, making everything like just basically standard, and he's the engineer. So it's not us. We're always just looking from our perspective. So yeah, thanks a lot for bringing it up. So appreciate
thank you, Nabi, for bringing this up. Actually, this is very subtle approach that you should make. You know, the first part is explaining the relationship between the actions of the us to qadar, and very subtly, you know, Ustad puts it in a way so that we can understand easily. And this is very, it's very good, understandable. You bring this up. And in the short, in the following portion, in short, Ustad makes the connection with our, you know, the dua that we make, by saying, with our expressions, with what we ask for from Allah. There is the active dua, and the part that we were reading in the 24th word, 24th letter, is related to the one that we ask for from Allah, with our desires. So this is the voluntary supplication. And the other one is starts with the active supplication. This is our actions is another type of supplication, as Ustad mentioned before in the previous section that we discussed in the earlier weeks. And as you know, Ustad connects the two in the short part that you just read. It's really connected to each other. Our active supplications may not lead us to the righteous path, so we should be aware of that, because we have very limited wisdom. So to correct that, we should again ask from Allah with our supplication, our voluntary supplication by word, as it says here.
So
correct our intention. Right?
Exactly. So it's just like so from like for seeing from one side and another side, but at the end, just so the way that like he just brings everything together, so it's they're all connected. And as we just talked today, so they're all just, we should not be kind of sidetracked, right? So it's just like they're all just we can easily break them down, but at the end, so we are moving towards like another life. So our purpose and everything, so our goal should always be the other life, just investing in the afterlife. So yes, we are maybe just asking for some stuff for this worldly life and everything, but life is too short. And then and we should also not forget about the responsibility as well. So we can ask anything, of course, just from Allah Almighty, but then just we should never forget about the responsibility. So at every single thing that we ask, it brings the responsibility. So just and at the same time, so just the best part, as we just said, so just think about, so always focus on other life, and inshallah just offer your supplication, worship, and everything, and then it just and move forward. And of course, at the end, just accept the fact. So then, yeah, there's also qadar, so like behind the doors. So he's the one, yeah, who knows us better than, of course, I'm just anyone. So, and he knows, like, and just mean the deepest down, like, and mean the levels of our heart. So,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Maybe we should ask Allah to be able to ask the right things. We should ask for what
Yeah,
we should be able to.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. Yeah, definitely. May Allah give us the power, and of course, yeah, just that sort of kind of level that just Almighty Allah. So just you know better than I do. So you know just yeah, what is right for me and what is wrong for me. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I guess we make a good understanding. I hope
Yeah, inshallah.
some understanding of this third point. So let's go. If you don't want to add anything about this third point, I would like to go to fourth point.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
So fourth point, the best, finest, sweetest, most immediate fruit and result of supplication is this, that the person who offers it knows there is someone who listens to his voice, sends a remedy for his ailment, takes pity on him, and whose hand of power reaches everything. The best, finest, sweetest, most immediate fruit and a result of supplication is this, that the person who offers it knows that there is someone who listens to his voice, sends a remedy for his ailment, takes pity on him, and whose hand of power reaches everything. He's not alone in this great hostel of the world. There is an all-generous being who looks after him and makes it friendly. Imagining himself in the presence of the one who can bring about all his needs and repulse all his innumerable enemies, he feels a joy and relief. He casts off his load, which is as heavy as the world, and exclaims, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, all praise be to Allah, the Lord and sustainer of all the worlds. So this is the end of the fourth point, right? So going back, this is the fruit of the spiritual results of making supplication. This is so beautiful and so sweet, right? The best, the finest, sweetest, most immediate fruit and result of the supplication is that the person who offers it knows there is someone who listens to his voice, sends a remedy for his ailment, and takes pity on him, and whose hand of power reaches everything. In this world, especially these days, we're trying to make connections as much as we can with social media or internet or or TV or whatever. We try. This is the world of connections, and we, with all these multiplicity of connections, we forget that our main connection should be to the one that creates everything. And the supplication itself is that connection, the very connection that we should make with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the result is so fruitful. And we can make the distinction by what kind of feeling that brings us when we connect with others, and what kind of feeling that brings about when we connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the supplication makes that connection, and we make a connection with Allah that controls everything, that creates everything, that has pity on us, that has Allah loves us, and He cares for us, and He has the power to do whatever is good for us. And we have the ability to connect with Him through nothing but supplication, first and foremost. Right? So what do you think, Fatabi? Would you like to connect?
Yeah, I want to build on your connections. This is what I was thinking. Anybody who lives as an expatriate learns how important is their social network, because when you move to some other country, you lose all or most of your social network. So if you need anything, like you need to build everything again. So, I mean, the connections you mentioned, we are trying to build them because having those connections helps us gather things. And knowing that like you have a good, like strong network gives you confidence, and it helps you a lot with most of your world things. So like one point here is knowing that the creator of universe is listening to our prayers. He is asking us to pray to him, because it's mentioned in the Quran that, like, ask from me and I'll answer you, right? The verse.
Yes.
Knowing that, like, all-knowing, all-powerful creator is listening to you and ordering you to ask everything from himself is like a great peace of mind. And also one other thing we get is, like, when we do pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of the best results is it strengthens our faith to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like, we know that, I mean, and that faith is really like not in the saying. I mean, when we are praying, we know that he is all powerful. I mean, we know that he exists. That faith, like, not only contains his existence, but his attributes too, like being all powerful, being all merciful, being all hearing, being all generous. So it's a, like, it's not a simple faith. It's a all-encompassing faith that both increases our iman faith, and also it's it gives us the peace of mind.
Yeah. You know, in Turkey they say I have dayı in government. I have an uncle. You know, they like to brag about, you know, I have an uncle in government, meaning I have, you know, authority and I can do things when I want to. You know, I can get to a position. I can, you know, do this and that. You know, you make a connection, as you just said. You make a connection with somebody, with people around you, and you feel strong. And the real connection that we make should be with Allah, which is the, you know, the all-powerful one that controls everything.
Yeah, even the short words, right? So like, it's just basically just when you mention someone else's name, so you can enter those, enter through those doors. So it's basically just having that connection. But of course, I mean, just you have to have the right connection, and at the same time, so as you mentioned, so like it's like nowadays, you believe that you have all these just like on social media, and just you want to be connected to people and everything, but then all this, you know, just maybe all so mixed up and confusing and so complex in world life. We have to practice extreme attention, and just we have to be very careful, and then we shouldn't be kind of misplace our love and guidance, and then we have to be extremely careful, and with our choices, and especially with our time, and find the true, like these type of kind of just, you know, gatherings, and where we can just understand and remind each other carefully, and then find, of course, I mean, at the same time, like, gonna be alone with our own you know, just prayers and supplications and worship, and especially just careful with the time as well, and be selfish, and not to just waste our time with here and there, like it's been some unnecessary kind of stuff, and offer our just repentant and supplication, like just true one. So who knows us and who understands us, as we just talked about it, and like and just how, as they said, like in the lofty relationship, like it's mean, so it's an how honorable act of service that is, as it mentions here.
Yeah, that's right. And that's how you just said, there is we do these like unnecessary things, instead of connecting to Allah, we do. I don't want to say unnecessary, but today it just reminded me that today is the election day for Turkey, and this is one of the most important election, as they say, of Turkey's history. And everybody is backed onto the screens to get the results. They are wishing the leader that they have in their hearts to come to power in Turkey. What will it be? Kılıçdaroğlu or Erdogan, whoever. But they are because they have desires, and then they think that they have image of Turkey for the future, and the leader that they have in their minds will shape that, bring out that kind of Turkey for them.
Right.
Everybody's locked to the screens right now. Even though it's not, Allah will bring whatever we wish. We tend to forget. I don't want to suggest that people have weakness of iman. That's why they look for. But it's a relationship. There is a it has a connection. Allah brings something with people. With using humans. But this is also true that our first focus should always be Allah Subhanahu wa Taala.
That's why it's just like that fourth just the version that I forgot the point, that just like in so it just mentions about like how those little kind of circles that we are in. So the most important, the foremost and the main kind of just is always and always us, like it's been basically your heart, yourself. So without like even offering worship and supplication through like it's your heart and everything. So what if like you just get concerned about like with the largest kind of the circle? So it's not gonna make any difference like seriously. So just first of all, as it says, like just that fourth like point. So start like it says like even if you have like the just the wealth of whatever she says like Britain or like in French or something. You must be investing, you must be spending to basically win this kind of the battle, the fight that he mentioned. So it's just basically between just these two forces. So and all these like if we look around us and just the test and the trial that we just said, so it is continuous, like it's going to continue until like just the end of the world. And it just like basically it is very smart at the same time. So like that misguidance is very smart, and it comes as Ustad describes it so with in congregation to us, and it is like very smart. It changes its shape, and it just basically puts on different type of kind of masks and everything, and it comes right in front of us it comes through like right ahead of us, or like from right or left or from behind. But then like so we're powerless. So then what are you going to do? Like, and even if you cannot do anything, so that then like the point that we are making here is that on your own, so spend some time on your own, so and place your heart, place your love to the right one, so and offer your supplication, offer your worship, and at the same time, if you can, so find some good people and be surrounded with them, like you guys, right? So like form a gathering, so form some sort of kind of brotherhood, so then you can remind yourself and form a congregation against them, so then you can just be be on the good side per se. So and inshallah, so then we can defend our iman, our just brotherhood and everything against all these things like going to come and at us, and inshallah. But but then of course, I mean, just it's so easy to get confused, like you just said. So with the news and with this and with that. So as I said, like, I mean, it just changes its shape. So it puts a different mask and just comes to us, like, with a different kind of face. Oh, just I was doing this way or that way. So whenever this like interpretation comes in, so with different type of kind of things, so then just we start giving in. So inshallah, but then with these type of kind of gatherings and reminders, and inshallah we can find our right way to stand against them.
Inshallah.
And also, one other thing I'd like to add about this fourth point is, for example, we made a prayer and then we got a different result than our prayers. So one thing this fourth point reminds us is that, like, I got the immediate results. I increased my faith, and I know that Allah knows me and the universe much better than us as human beings. So He must have given this for a reason, this result for a reason. This is really
Fatih, I couldn't hear you. There is a disconnection. Fatih, can you
if
repeat?
you get the praying, that might then you think, oh, Allah listens to me. I am like you.
Is there a connection problem or is it me?
I'm such a good person that answers all my prayers.
Your connection is weak.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, there is a connection problem, I guess, from
Oh,
on your
yeah.
side. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I lost connection and it came back. I just realized it. I mean, what was I talking about when it was lost?
Yeah, we even forgot. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Get
Yo, you were
Yeah, I
adding,
mean-
you can start from the beginning. You were adding
Yeah,
something.
the increasing of our faith is, I mean, the immediate result of the prayer. I mean, even if the result is something that we liked. So because we know that Allah is all-knowing and all-wise, so He must have given this result to me in according to His wisdom and mercy. So we will be okay with it because of our faith, and it increased our faith, which is like an invaluable result from that worship, even though we did not get the result that we asked for.
Yes, that's right.
And sometimes when we get the result that we ask for, we may become like boasting that, oh, I'm such a servant of Allah. Whenever I ask, He gives me. And then, I mean, you can get wrong ideas about yourself, and then it may not be good for you in terms of your spirituality.
That's right. Yeah,
So we have to be very careful.
that's so true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree. Yeah, maybe just I think if I read my mind, just about like just 10 minutes ago, I was thinking about the same thing. So we should also be very careful with that as well. Yeah, just and at the same time, so it's like kind of just the wings of a bird, right? So you should always be like on the other side. So like yes, and inshallah, so like and just we have to offer our supplication and everything. But at the same time, like just we should have the hope, and at the same time, we should also be kind of just very, just sincerely kind of scared about like we have to have that kind of fear. So and just we shouldn't let our ego take over us. And so it's just like, oh, I'm asking like everything, so like he immediately answers. But at the same time, so like so we shouldn't be kind of just thinking about that way, and then we shouldn't be just like be all just kind of regretted or just like, oh no, hopeless, oh just I'm asking everything, like just now he doesn't answer. So no, that shouldn't be also kind of our a way of kind of life. Yeah,
everything should be in balance.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Not
moderate.
expecting-
Yeah, moderate. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can read the fifth point, which wraps
Yeah,
up
that
all.
would be nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were talking
Yazami,
about.
can you open that? Yeah, please. So the fifth point, supplication is the spirit of worship and results from sincere belief. For the person who makes supplication shows that there is someone who rules the whole universe, saying he knows the least significant things about me, can bring about my farthest aims, who sees every circumstance of mine and hears my voice. He hears the voices of all beings and he hears my voice too. So this is like a pinnacle of Iman. So to supplicate is not something easy. It's not something simple. It's a high level of Iman. So he hears the voice of all beings. So when we supplicate, this is what we actually claim. He hears the voices of all beings and he hears my voice too. He does all these things, so I await my smallest needs from him too. I ask him for them. See the extensive, sincere belief in Allah's unity that supplication gives, and the sweetness and purity of the light of belief that it shows. Understand the meaning of the verse, قُلْ مَا يَعْبَئُ بِكُمْ رَبِّ لَوْلَا دُعَائِكُمْ. Say, no importance would your sustainer attach to you were it not for your supplication. Listen to the decree of وَقَالَ رَبُّكُمْ ادْعُونِي أَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ, and your sustainer says, call on me, I shall answer you. And the saying goes, if I had not wanted to give, I would not have given one thing. So this is a Persian, I guess, has a hadith source. So yeah, this is really the spiritual state of a supplicator, I guess. This is the last level of Iman. Would you like to comment, Fatih Abi?
I think I made most
Yeah,
of my
fine.
comments about this already. I mean, it was coming, but really we were like kind of in a hurry. I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, it's not something that, oh, we ask for Allah and then he sometimes gives us, he sometimes doesn't give. It's not as that. I mean, the action looks like that, but it has much more deeper meaning and consequences of that action. It shows our faith, our trust towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's like reminds us of our place in the universe. It reminds us of our shortcomings, our powerlessness, our needs. I mean, basically our humanity, and it reminds us of our beings, our being servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is, that's why it's very, very important.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it's just a submission, right? So it's just basically the utmost level of submission. So knowing and accepting that that Allah Almighty is the one. So and then just again he reminds us that sincerity, right? So I think it just he purposely just chooses the word like sincere. So like just that reminds us like and again like it's just basically doesn't he remind also us in different parts of Risale just always seek sincerity in your actions. So if you can find it, so then just forget about the rest, he says, right? So just sincerely ask and sincerely know that he is the one. So it's just like I think it becomes like in a whole, like just we basically complete that that utmost kind of worship within that. So we believe in Allah, we trust in him, we see every single thing that he creates around us, from plants to animals and everything, and then also all these circumstances, like he creates every single thing around us, and at the same time he is the one. So he hears my voice, and then he goes, right, all just like in a being. So waiting the smallest need from him. So then accept it and know him, and then like gonna keep practicing. And finally, so like sincerely, if we offer it, so then and then with like knowing all these, like just importance of like sustainer attaching like your supplication, so we're calling on him, and then we're placing our love, we're placing our trust in him. So we're not like making it a mistake, and inshallah we finally just tying the knot, like just in tying the loop, just boom. If we, so he wouldn't given us this type of kind of supplication power, or just the ability. So yes, so he gave us this one thing, and then just in return we're giving him back. Like yes, Allah Almighty. So we acknowledge you, we recognize you, we believe in you. Then so that utmost level of submission, right? So that being just basically becoming a whole with the word, even the word Muslim itself, right? So the one who is submitting. Yes. So yeah, this part is so lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So can
to
I
sum
add
up,
something? If you can
Please.
hear me,
please go ahead.
I'll just look at the different point, and especially that is important for the young generation that I've been dealing with. And one of the critical part there is that I was just reading these to them. I mean, some of them Christians and Jewish and Muslims as well. Today's mental illness is just being alone. I'm all alone. Nobody listens to me. Nobody hears my voice. That's one of the critical part for the young generation. So when you read it and when you tell them that this is what it is exactly, that you can talk to, even though there's nobody around you, you can easily talk to Allah or God. This is the worship, and then this is the beauty of Islam and Iman. They are so shocked. And especially that when they have some kind of mental illness, panic attack and depression and all kinds of different things, today is important. Not only young generation, I believe that for us as well, that the old generation, that so when you say that there is always somebody that who's going to listen to you, and that makes your heart is really like feeling great, and mentally you're going to feel great as well. And they started, like, let's say, even though there are some different religious people, they come and just say that I know that there are some tariqas that they are doing La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah. That is just something that when you read this point, and they are clearly understanding that, okay, there is someone that is going to hear me. I need to worship him, even though there's nobody around me. And today is like in the United States, not only in the United States, across the world as well, that we see lots of generation. They don't deal and they don't communicate well, and they don't want to get along with the people, or they don't want to get together with the people. And some people, they don't get along well. So this is something that we are just saying, hey, listen, there is somebody who's going to listen to you, even though you have like little tiny things in your heart. He's going to understand, and he's going to listen to you. This is the most important part. Even though there is no response, they don't maybe that feel that they want to get the response right away, but they just wanted to communicate and tell him what he feels or she feels. This is really clear. The other point as well, 4 point and the fifth, is clearly showing that. And I'm discussing with this young generation, especially young generation. Maybe our sons and daughters is the same thing, and they are just on the phone or computer, and they don't want to talk. Even like you want to call them, and they just want to text you. What do you want? So this is exactly. I mean, this is something today's really biggest disease that I want to say. Not only mentally, but the soul diseases as well. That's what I can just say.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add this once.
Yeah, totally agree with you. It's basically that's what I see like around me also. It's just the instant gratification of our just the danger of this generation, like in a seriously. It's just basically everyone is given this idea of like just when asking me, like, and just Google me and everything, and boom, like I give you the information as soon as possible. So that just basically, especially the young generation and people around me also got lost in this. Yeah, just so they want immediate reaction, immediate solution and everything. So, but then these type of kind of problems are not fixed or answered like just immediately. It takes time. and especially this is for hereafter and other life. So and we have to be very careful, and just I totally agree with brother. So yeah, he's right. So and then we have to, like, I mean, inshallah, may Allah give us this power and everything. So we set good examples in front of them. And first of all, of course, I mean, just after fixing ourselves, but at the same time, we have this responsibility, and then we need to reach out to them, like, and just somehow, like, and just show them, yeah, the power of this these kind of gatherings, and setting a good example, and especially offering our things and just supplication just daily and for in front of Allah, and of course be good examples also to other brothers and sisters around us.
Inshallah. So these chapters, as you just said, this is spiritually healing us. Ustad started with looking at he portrayed the creatures are all in a state of worship and supplication, and we saw it. He showed us that the whole universe, all creatures are in a state of supplication, and Allah is constantly answering all those supplications. And Ustad reminded us that we should be also in the position of supplicating to Allah every time, as much as we can, even though it may not be resulted immediately, or Allah might give us a better, something better for us. But the real fruit of supplication is the spiritual benefits, as Ustad stated here, and we try to benefit from all of them as much as we can. So let's make the dua, the end dua, to finish up. Inshallah, we are over. This time is over, I guess. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد من الأزل إلى الأبد عدد ما في علم الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. سلمنا وسلم ديننا آمين والحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة.